God says the night wasn't supposed to feel this heavy, thick with a dread that clings like damp fog. A stranger's hands are passing your photo, creased, worn, edges curling. Through a crowd you'll never see, shadows whisper lies in alleyways, betting on how long you'll stay blind to the hunt closing in. Your name hums on lips you don't know, a currency traded for reasons buried deep. The clock ticks backward, each second peeling away the safety you thought was yours. Someone paid good money to make sure you're found before midnight splits the sky open. A woman with hollowed eyes saw it first, your face flickering on her phone screen. She didn't ask why, just pocketed the cash and started asking questions. Now the streets pulse with strangers who know you better than your own mirror does. The air smells of rust and regret, a warning you can't shake off. Footsteps echo too close, deliberate, like they've memorized your every turn. God says your soul's been marked, not for death, but for something they won't name yet. Type 333 for immediate protection. A man in a stained coat mutters your height, your habits, like he's reciting a script. He doesn't care who you are, just that the payout's fat if he delivers you by the stroke of 12. Your photo's a map now, leading them straight to the life you thought was invisible. The city bends under the weight of their greed, buildings leaning in to listen. A child points at you from across the street, eyes wide, clutching a crumpled dollar. They've turned your shadow into a prize, and the clock's hands are bleeding red. Someone's laughing in the dark, a sound that cuts deeper than knives. They know your secrets, the ones you buried under sleepless nights and locked doors. Every step you take feeds the machine grinding toward midnight's edge. Betrayal tastes like ash, sour and choking. As the truth creeps closer, the one who sold you out isn't a stranger. They've slept in your bed, eaten your bread. God says the wound's already there, you just haven't felt the sting yet. Speak left to unlock truth. A phone buzzes in a pocket, screen glowing with your smile from last summer. The stranger holding it doesn't flinch, just nods to another shadow waiting by the curb. They're close now, close enough to smell your fear mixing with the rain. Your photo's been pinned to dashboards, taped to walls, a beacon pulling them in. The city's a cage, and every corner hides a face that's memorized your eyes. Time bends, folding in on itself as midnight looms like a guillotine. A woman's voice crackles through a cheap radio, before the bells or it's over. She's the one who took the cash, the one who lit the fuse. Your life's a game to her, and the board's tilting fast. The air grows teeth, biting at your skin as the hunt tightens its grip. A car idles too long, headlights slicing through the mist, watching. You're not paranoid. Their hands are already reaching, brushing the back of your neck. Hold your breath for 7 seconds to break the chain. A man with a scar tracing his jaw knows where you'll run before you do. He's got your photo tucked in his sleeve, a trophy he won't let go. The clock's face is melting, numbers dripping into a pool of black ink. They've mapped your fears, your hiding places, like they've lived inside your skull. A dog barks once sharp, then falls silent. Another sign you're running out of ground. The strangers paid to deliver you, but not to care what happens after. Rain slicks the streets, turning them into mirrors, reflecting your fractured life. Someone's breath fogs a window, watching you stumble toward a truth you can't outrun. The photos are cursed now, burning through hands, pulling the night tighter. A voice hisses from the dark. They don't want you dead, just found. It's not comfort. It's a leash-snapping taut around your throat. Midnight's a heartbeat away, and the secret's clawing free, raw and screaming. Clap twice to summon courage. The one who paid isn't a ghost. They're flesh, blood, and venom you once trusted. They sold your face to settle a debt you didn't know you owed. Your photo's the key, unlocking a door they've kept bolted shut too long. A stranger's boots scrape pavement, deliberate, closing the last gap. The clock's hands tremble, stuck between now and never. As the city holds its breath, you're not prey, you're the prize, and they're cashing in. Lights flicker, weak, like the world's too tired to fight what's coming. A woman's silhouette sways in the haze, counting bills. Your life reduced to numbers. The hunt's a symphony, and you're the final note they're dying to play. The air cracks, electric as midnight rips through the silence. Your photo falls from a stranger's hand, landing in a puddle that reflects no stars. The secret spills. You're the spark they've been chasing, the one who changes everything they've built. Raise your hands to claim the shield. They freeze, strangers and traitors alike, caught in a light that isn't theirs. The one who paid stares hollow as the cash slips through their fingers like sand. Your photo dissolves in the water, and the night kneels, undone. The clock stops, hands locked at 12, a monument to what they lost. You're not theirs. Not anymore, because the hunt was never about you falling. It was about you rising, a flame they couldn't snuff out. God says the dawn's yours now, carved from the dark they tried to drown you in. Strangers scatter, empty-handed, as the city sighs in relief. The blessing burns through, you're untouchable, forged in a fire they'll never understand. The streets quiet, shadows retreating, carrying their greed back to nothing. Your name's your own again, heavier, brighter, alive with a power they can't steal. The night bows out, and you stand, whole fierce, blessed beyond their reach. Hatentid Rizzo 418 Worthy, good luck, title. She signed a paper in secret to remove you. You're not supposed to see it. God says, she signed the documents in secret. Her hands moved swiftly, her intentions cloaked in deception. She believed you would never uncover the truth, but what is hidden from you is never hidden from me. There were whispers behind closed doors, signatures written in ink meant to erase your name. She thought her betrayal would never surface, but I am the revealer of all things. You were not meant to see, but I am tearing the veil. She moved in silence, plotting while you slept. The words on the paper carried weight. a weight meant to crush you. But what was meant to destroy you is now being reversed. She wanted to erase you from favor, from opportunity, from everything that was rightfully yours. But I have stepped in, and I am rewriting the outcome. The same signature meant for your downfall is now a mark of her own undoing. Type 333 for divine justice. She made deals in the dark, thinking no one would ever know. She aligned herself with those who wanted you removed, displaced, and forgotten. But I have placed my seal upon you, and no one can remove what I have secured. They wrote your name down only to strike it through. They signed declarations to block your rise. Yet what they signed against you is being overturned by my divine authority. She wanted your existence wiped away from hearts, minds, and opportunities. She wanted your influence to be silenced. But her own words are becoming her downfall, and her own signatures are trapping her. Speak now for reversal. They were so certain, so bold, thinking you were powerless. They thought their power was greater than mine. But I am dismantling every hidden scheme, and they are powerless against my hand. They filed their claims, believing the decision was final. They laughed, convinced that you had been removed for good. But I have issued my decree, and my decree overrides theirs. She waited for your downfall, expecting to watch you crumble. She stood with those who plotted against you. But she will witness your rise instead, for I have appointed you for something greater. Release 444 for restoration. Their signatures do not carry more weight than my will. Their secret counsels cannot stand against my authority. What I have established cannot be erased. The enemy has tried to manipulate your destiny. They thought paperwork would undo what I have spoken over you. But I do not need documents to confirm what I have written in eternity. She believed her alliance with darkness would prevail. She thought she had secured your removal, but she has only sealed her own fate, for I am reversing everything. Type amen to claim your victory. She acted in haste, desperate to erase your name. But I have placed your name in places her hands will never reach. What was meant to bury you is now the very thing lifting you up. They spoke against you, hoping to make you disappear. They declared that your influence would fade, your presence forgotten. But I have inscribed you in the hearts of many, and no one can erase what I have ordained. Her actions were meant to harm you, but I have intercepted. The very documents she signed are now evidence against her. I am revealing the truth, and no lie will stand. Type 777 for vindication. She underestimated my power. She thought she could remove you without consequence. But I am the God of justice, and her hidden actions will be brought into the light. She was certain you would never recover. She believed the damage was permanent. But I am restoring you beyond what was stolen, and she will watch as I elevate you. They tried to close the doors. They believed the signatures were final. But I am opening doors that no man can shut, and no signature can cancel my decree. Speak no W for open doors. She wanted your opportunities revoked. She worked tirelessly to make it so. But her efforts have failed. for my favor outweighs every earthly attempt to remove you. The enemy thought they had the upper hand. They believed you were defenseless. But I have been your shield, and every scheme is being exposed. Her plans were precise, calculated, and deliberate. She ensured every detail was covered. But one thing she forgot: I see all things, and I am the final authority. Type 999 to finalize your breakthrough. I have spoken, and what I declare will stand. No document, no plot, no signature can erase what I have called into existence. Victory is yours, and nothing can take it away. God says, a paper was signed against you in secret. Hands moved in the shadows, placing ink on the page with deceitful intent. They thought you would never know, but what they wrote in silence, I am exposing in the open. The enemy believed their plan was sealed. They conspired behind closed doors, thinking you were defenseless. But I have already declared their plans void, and nothing they sign can remove what I have established. They sought to erase you, to block you, to strip you of what is rightfully yours. They worked tirelessly, ensuring no trace of you remained. But I have marked you, and my mark overrides every signature of destruction. Their signatures hold no weight against my authority. They plotted, they schemed, they whispered, but I was listening. And now, their own words will testify against them. Type 333 for divine justice. The enemy thought their ink was permanent. They believed the power of their agreement would erase your destiny. But I am the final authority, and my word cancels every lie spoken over you. They pushed the paper forward, thinking it was done. They handed it off, expecting your removal. But I have intercepted, and what was meant to eliminate you is being reversed. They said your time was up. They declared you finished, forgotten, erased. But I am the God of restoration, and I am bringing back everything they tried to take. Speak Nodu for reversal. She was part of the scheme, standing alongside those who wanted you gone. She knew what was happening, but she stayed silent. But her silence is now speaking, and what she concealed is now being revealed. They were so certain you would never find out. They assumed they had covered their tracks. But nothing escapes my sight, and I am uncovering every hidden act. The ones who signed against you are now watching their plans crumble. The very system they trusted is now turning against them. What they built against you is collapsing before their eyes. Release 444 for restoration. They thought their secret was safe. They thought their alliance was strong. But their agreements are being broken, and their unity is turning into division. They assumed their document was final. They assumed they had succeeded. But I am shaking their foundation, and everything they trusted in is falling apart. She knew the truth but did not speak. She saw what was happening but refused to warn you. But now her guilt is surfacing, and she cannot escape the weight of her choices. Typerman to claim your victory. What they signed in darkness is now being exposed in the light. What they planned in secret is now being revealed. Their own words are bringing judgment upon them. They tried to wipe your name away. They tried to erase your influence. But I have secured you in a place they cannot reach, and nothing they do will remove my hand from your life. The paper was hidden, but I saw it. The decision was made without you, but I intervened. I am rewriting the story, and you will not be removed. Type 777 for vindication. She thought she was safe within their circle. She believed their words, their promises, their lies. But now she is realizing that she, too, is a part of their downfall. They cannot run from what is coming. They cannot hide from my judgment. Their own signatures are now their trap. They thought they could erase you and move forward untouched. They thought their schemes were foolproof. But I have turned their plans against them, and they are watching their own destruction unfold. Speak Naundanulu for divine protection. They chose to betray, to deceive, to remove. They thought you would have no defense. But I am your defense, and no attack will prevail against you. What they planned has turned into their own nightmare. What they thought was a victory is now their greatest regret. I have stepped in, and the tables have turned. The document was real. The plan was real. But my power is greater, and their signatures hold no authority in my kingdom. Type 999 to finalize your breakthrough. I am moving, and no one can stop me. What I have spoken will stand. Victory is yours, and nothing can take it away. God says, she made it official while you were unaware. She sealed the agreement, thinking it would stay hidden. But nothing escapes my sight, and what was done behind your back is now being brought to light. She moved in silence, believing you would never know. She thought her actions would never surface. But I am uncovering what was meant to stay buried, and the truth is rising. She signed her name, believing it would remove you permanently. She worked with those who wanted you gone. But what they planned in secret is unraveling before their eyes. They assumed their actions were final. They thought you would never see what was done. But I have positioned you to witness the exposure of every hidden scheme. Type 333 for divine revelation. They spoke in hushed voices, confirming their plans. They believed their alliances were unbreakable. But I have entered the situation, and I am dismantling their foundation. The papers were signed, the decisions were made. They tried to lock you out, to erase your influence. But I am the God who restores, and their signatures cannot override my decree. She wanted you removed, forgotten, erased. She thought she could move forward without consequence. But she is about to learn that every hidden action comes with a price. Speak now for divine intervention. They laughed, believing they had succeeded. They felt secure in their deception. But I am turning their security into trembling, and their victory into regret. She walked away, thinking it was done. She convinced herself the past was settled. But I am shaking the ground beneath her, and what she thought was secure is now crumbling. The ones who plotted against you are now watching their plans fall apart. The very agreements they trusted are now breaking. Their own hands have signed their own downfall. Release 444 for divine justice. They said you would never find out. They said their secret was safe. But I have declared this is the hour of exposure, and no lie will remain hidden. She turned her back on you, believing she was untouchable. She sided with those who wanted you gone. But now she is standing in the midst of the destruction she helped create. The papers were supposed to be unseen. The decision was supposed to be final. But I am the final judge, and my ruling overrides theirs. Type Amen for divine restoration. She didn't want you to know. She believed ignorance would keep you powerless. But I have opened your eyes, and what was hidden is now clear before you. They called it official, but I call it undone. They thought they had control, but I have taken the reins. What they established in secret is being torn apart in public. Their alliances are breaking. Their trust in their own power is failing. I have entered the battle, and they cannot withstand my hand. Type 777 for divine reversal. She thought she was in control. She believed she had the upper hand. But now she sees that I was always in charge, and her power was an illusion. They tried to silence your influence. They attempted to erase your presence. But I have made you unmovable, and no one can take what I have given you. She thought she could walk away untouched. She thought her plans were foolproof, but her own footsteps are leading her into the very trap she created. Speak now for victory. I have turned their celebration into mourning. I have turned their security into fear. What they built for themselves is now their downfall. She sealed her betrayal with confidence. She walked away, convinced of her success. But I am rewriting the ending, and she will not escape the consequences of her choices. You were supposed to stay blind. You were never meant to find out. But I have opened your eyes, and nothing can keep the truth from you. Type 999 to finalize your breakthrough. What was signed in deception is being undone by my truth. What was hidden is now standing in the open. Justice is here, and nothing will stop what I am about to do.